What's the biggest challenge for the brokers at the moment for you guys?
For us, probably the market, and for brokers alike, basically, it's prolonged soft market conditions. Everyone's struggling. Most people are sort of looking to stay level. So I think a broker, the biggest thing that a broker moaning about at the moment is the competition. They're insured every single day. They're getting letters through from competing brokers.
Regulation as well. I think it's quite difficult for them at the minute.
Yeah.
And spend a lot of money on things like that. So I think quite people are hoping that the FCA may change that slightly and make that easier for them as well.
So if you could give one message out to BIBA as obviously the host of this great event, what would it be? What do you think BIBA needs to be doing over the next year to help the brokers and also help you guys as underwriting agents? Obviously you've got an interest in making sure your products are fit for purpose and it's sellable. So what do you think that BIBA should be looking at?
I think ultimately it's the broker who drives down the price. So a broker, by putting a piece of business to market every renewal and encouraging insurers to compete on it solely on price is quite a big issue, because an insurer who's trying to push the market forward and will put 5-10% onto a risk, a broker won't stand for that. Instead of trying to support the insurer, the broker will decide, right, well, the insurer's not going to have that, and really all they're worried about is losing the business. So they will put it to market, and then there'll be another insurer out there who will take 20%, 30% off of that risk, and it's just unnecessarily sort of driving the market down. So I think to sort of encourage a mindset amongst brokers that the market does need to go forward, they do need to support increases on renewals. I think that's probably...
Yeah, I think it's sort of two-pronged. I think the brokers need to get in a mindset where it makes sense to carry a small increase on risk, and insurers need to not do silly things by driving it down. I think just a slight attitude change from both parties would see the market probably come up quite a bit, really.
Okay, and looking at your own business, where do you see that over the next year? What's the challenges for you in the other side of that, delivering that out to the brokers? What are you looking to do?
Well, I think the main challenge is definitely being able to compete. There's a lot of people out there doing a lot of silly things. There's a lot of people doing the same stuff that we are, the same sort of business. So we need to be out there seeing the brokers. They need to know we're there. Service is what we're known for. That's what we keep giving. New products, we've got to be there doing that.
We play in the SME arena. We write a lot of different trades, a lot of different risks, but we're starting to become a little bit more niche focused, industry focused. Launched a restaurant scheme recently. I think that's probably the challenge for us, just to sort of try and create some specialisms, because general SME is massively overbroked and massively over-insured. It's hugely competitive.
Service and exclusivity are two great things, and people like that, but it doesn't necessarily win your business. You've got to be there, you've got to have the price as well. So,
Okay. Been to any of the speaker sessions? Will you go to any of those?
No. Going to try and catch David Miliband tomorrow. Today,
I think it's a Hillary today. We might have seen that. I'm not sure what time it is, but maybe David Miliband tomorrow.
Okay. And if you had your dream speaker at any of the sessions, alive, dead, fictional, real, who would you want?
Insurance related or anyone?
Like the Chris Hoy one tomorrow. Who would you have?
I don't know. I think insurance related. I'd probably say Hiscox, just because he's about to go. And
I think I'd go for Margaret Thatcher.
Yeah,
that'd be a good one. She could shake things up a bit. Maybe she can hold the market for us.
So a bit of a closer. Try and sum the conference up for you in one sentence. What does the BIBA conference mean to you?
I think it's a great place to get everyone under one roof, catch up with people, see how people are feeling, just network with people and catch up, really.
Yeah. It's an intense day of networking, really. We've always found there's not much, if you like, business that goes on, but it's a fabulous time to get lots of decision makers into one room and grab them all on one day. Because to see them out in the regions and going into their office and having meetings with them would take, months of organising and months of doing, really. So,
And you're going to be back next year, do you think?
Definitely. Yeah, without doubt.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. What's it been like? What's going on for brokers at the moment? What's their real challenges?
You've probably heard this already, but it's really all about the FCA. It's all about regulation. And it's all about trying to understand how to balance the need to make a profit and run a business and make sure you're doing the right thing for the customer. And sometimes that's not an easy decision. And it sounds quite heavy and serious, but actually it is, because the regulator really wants to understand that the people working in the business are choosing to do what is right for the customer, not as what is right for the business. But if you just take that to its full extent, you won't make any money. So it's getting that balance right.
Well, and obviously we've got Steve White coming in, just taking up his tenure at BIBA. If you could give one message to him, what would that be?
I think it's probably build a relationship with the FCA. Don't just keep knocking them. And I think the fact that the BIBA have chosen Steve underlines that they recognise that what's needed right now is someone who knows what they're talking about, who knows about compliance, who knows about regulation and has those relationships. So I think it's probably a really good move.
Flipping it out for insurers, what do you think they should be doing to
Exactly the
get
same.
into this? It is just this.
It's exactly the same. Martin Wheatley confirmed yesterday what we already know, that they want to look at the claims process. And again, they want to understand what John and Jane, as they put it, at the bottom line, what's motivating them when they're talking to customers. Is it to save the company money? Is it to do the right thing for the customer? And it's the same process all the way through. And so I think that's really the thing, and insurers really have to get to grips with that.
Okay. And just finally, BIBA fever, 1 to 10. Where are we?
I'm not one to be excited, I have to say, about anything. It's a good conference. It's a good place to do business. Can see people, but excited is not a word I would use. And my one thing I'll do for BIBA is I'll change BIBA to lowercase, so you can say BIBA rather than BIBA. That's a personal.
No, I think it's a fair comment. Thank you, Ian. How do you think it is for brokers at the moment? Are you getting any particular messages out from the guys?
I think the brokers that we're seeing, certainly for our sort of product, they're looking to be more creative about what they're doing with their books of business. And so, for our sorts of offerings where they can maybe earn some more revenue by using a captive or a PCC sale, that's interesting for them because it's maybe not something they've come across before. So I think there's a lot of competition out there, and people know they've got to think through things and do the best they can, do the best value out of their business, really.
Okay, well, I guess kind of flipping that around, thinking about the insurers in the room as well, because obviously there are a number of those here too. And whether you feel that they got some issues at the moment, and is the kind of stuff you're doing, is it a tangible alternative? Does it complement what they're doing?
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, our business sometimes is cyclical, and it goes, when rates are hard, our captive business does more. It doesn't necessarily work like that over the past sort of few years for us. But I think just coming back to what you're asking about, insurers themselves, where they are, I think they desperately, the message is they desperately want to get the rates up, quite clearly. Some is competition. They must be struggling with investment income, got to be. Slight erosion of their capital base. So, I think it's, there are some tough times out there, and they badly want to see the returns on the market go up a bit. Okay.
Well, again, I mean, being at the BIBA conference is quite a fundamental moment for BIBA with a new CEO coming in. If you could give a message out to BIBA that could help the audience here, whether that's broker or an insurer that needs to work with a broker, is there anything that you think? I think one thing that they could probably change over the next year.
I'm not so sure they need to change anything. I think they need to do more of what they've already been doing, which is bringing professionalism to broking. And part of that, the way I see that, is giving brokers the right tools, the right knowledge and the right education to be able to do a decent job. I think that's what BIBA is about, and I think that's what they need to carry on doing.
Okay. Well, I'm thinking at the time we're speaking, I think Chris Hoy is probably in there doing his little party piece to close the event. If you could have and pick your one speaker for, who would it be? Live, dead, fictional, factual. Who would be the one person you would love to see speaking here?
I would probably pick one of the politicians, probably one of the great politicians over the years. Maybe a Churchill or a Thatcher. Both sort of great leaders of their time. Love them or hate them, particularly Thatcher. I realise she had her fans and her enemies, but. Sure, that should be a great inspirational talk.
You're going to get an opinion.
Absolutely, that's right.
So just thinking, if you could sum this whole gathering up in one sentence, what BIBA 2013's been for you?
It's been good. Probably better in Manchester than in London. If I'm truthful about the venue and the sort of the people coming through, but it's worthwhile. Okay. Well, the rumour on the street is you may have your wish. We haven't been told yet, but. And do you think next year, if it's Manchester or elsewhere, will we be seeing Heritage here? Yeah, we'll be back.
Good. Well, that's good to know. Oh, thank you, Paul. That's very kind of you.